Hey my loves, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in today's video I'll be showing you how I did this full face beat, but I will only be showing you the skin work. The next video that I will upload will be for the eyes, how I achieved my eyeshadow. And firstly, you have to prep the skin, and what we do first is to clean the face. I use my micellar cleansing water from Dr. Rachel, and then I'm going to spray my green tea spray so that my face is hydrated before I put my serum on it. And I use Dr. Rachel serum. Most of my skincare products are actually Dr. Rachel. So yeah, I'm putting my serum on my face because my face has to be damp when putting the serum. And then I'll use my stapling brush. It's more or less like the foundation brush, like to apply products on the face. So I'm using it to apply my Dr. Rachel on my face. And you can also use your hands also if you're not comfortable with using brush. And then I'm going into my sweat block. That's the pink product you just saw. And I'm touching my face to be sure that okay, it has dried. And then my moisturizer from Dr. Rachel, also using the same brush to apply my moisturizer. And I'll make sure it's in, like, before you go into like your foundation and everything, make sure your skin work is like dry before you like go into your foundation. And yeah, I forgot to show you, I actually applied my primer before I applied my foundation. So please apply your primer to your T-zone area and also your skin. Don't apply it under your eye, please keep that place. And guys, this foundation, I didn't know because I had a skin reaction, and then I didn't apply my skin care routine for like 2 weeks, so I got darker, and I didn't know. I thought like the Beauty by AD was still my actual shade, and this video is more or less like how to correct wrong shade of foundation. So I mixed one, I can't remember the darker shade of foundation that I mixed, but this one was now a bit like orange. And that's why it's good to get your foundation shade before you apply your foundation. Make sure it's either your foundation is one shade darker or your exact shade. But I wasn't panicking because I know I was still going to contour, so I went into this. It's more or less like an orange type of contour, but I wanted to use it to kind of correct it in a way, and that's why I used it. And then the camera also, like, my lighting was a bit bad, but this is not as orange as the same. It's more or less like my contour because it's like dark. So I'm going into my contour next. That's the next thing I'm doing, my contour after my foundation. And then I'm applying my contour to my cheekbone. That's under my cheekbone. Like, you guys get what I'm saying, under my cheekbone. And then close to my neck, but you guys can get it. Like, just watch the video and understand. And back to what I was saying. So like, when you want to correct your face, like, don't just panic. Sometimes foundations actually oxidize. That means they get darker. And this Beauty by AD foundation, I've noticed about it actually gets darker like after some time. Like, it just blends with your skin, but it takes time. That's what I'm saying. You have to just get your actual foundation shade before going in. Just make sure like it's your actual shade. Either is a shade darker or your actual shade. And you can see that the thing is now coming together after I applied my contour on it. And then I was blending I'm blending every single side that I applied my contour around my head. That's the top of my head and my face. I'm trying to have this facelift, and this look also that I'm trying to achieve also is a facelift type of makeup, because I always like my makeup like giving this illusion of like a facelift, like lifting my face. So I'm applying it on top of my cheekbone, and then I'm blending the blush. What I'm going into now is my blush, and I'm applying the blush on top of my cheekbone, and I'm blending it upwards. I'm not blending it down. I'm not just blending it straight. I'm blending it upwards. Like I said, I want to have this illusion of a facelift. So I'm blending it upwards. And whatever product I'm going to apply now, I'll be blending the products upwards. Same as my contour, then my blush. You get, the first step is your foundation. That's for skin work. Sorry, your primer, then your foundation, then your contour, and now your blush. Now I'm going into my concealer, and that's my cream concealer from Jacqueline. Yeah, I guess that's the concealer name. I think it's Jacqueline. Yeah, it's Jacqueline. So I'm going to, this concealer is 2 shades lighter than me. So for concealer, it's either you use a shade lighter or 2 shades lighter. If you want like a very bright under eye, so you can go for like 2 shades lighter than your skin, your actual shade of like your skin. So I'm going into my concealer and I'm using, I think this is 2 shades lighter or 1 shade lighter than my skin. I think it's 1 shade. I use the 1 shade lighter, and then I'll go into my Adventure concealer, which is now the one that is like 3 shades lighter than my skin because it's actually very, very light. Guys, can you see what I'm saying? That the foundation already oxidized and everything like just blended and it's no more looking extremely bright. But just to avoid this type of scenario, make sure you get your actual foundation. That's what I would say. Just to avoid this type of scenario, please get your actual foundation shade. So now I'm blending my concealer, and I'm not blending my under eye first because I want it to dry, not like dry, but like just dry a bit so that I can have this full coverage. Then obviously my jaw, I blend in my jaw, and then I'm blending my T-zone area. And when you want to apply your concealer, apply it to your T-zone areas of your face. And guys, before I forget, for primer, make sure you apply your primer around your T-zone area where you sweat a lot. I usually advise that you apply it like where you actually sweat a lot, and you can also use a sweat block. Also, that's before your entire skin prep, so that everything just settles in. So back to what I was saying. Now I'm blending my concealer, and when you are blending cream products, please dab, don't swipe, because if you swipe, you're going to move your products. Please dab the products and dab it into the skin. Don't swipe, dab it into the skin. And because I'm going for a facelift makeup, I'm blending it upwards, and then I'll turn my beauty sponge. This is a beauty sponge I'm using to blend. I don't use brush. Like, I'm not so used to brushes. Like, I really don't like using brushes when I'm blending my cream products. So I will use my beauty sponge, and then the other side of the beauty sponge where there is no foundation is what I'm using to blend my concealer, because I don't want to pack too much products on my face. I'm trying to avoid packing too much products on my face. So I'm blending my concealer upwards, as you can see in the other part of the video. And now I'm applying the brightest shade of my concealer, which is from Adventure, and I'm also doing the same thing. I'm blending it upwards, and I'm now blending like my nose, because I also applied like concealer on my nose. And then the part for blush, I applied a bit of blush on the tip of my nose because I want everything to look the same. And then I'll go into the parts that I use for my foundation and then blend my entire face to make everything seamless before I go into my setting powder. And because I am light skin, I'm using a translucent shade of setting powder. I already applied the setting powder. I'm so sorry for skipping the video, but I'm using a translucent shade. But if you are darker, like if you are dark skin, you can use a darker shade of setting powder, or just use your normal face powder. So it's not, or you just use a darker shade of powder or your normal face powder to set your under eye and your concealer area. And for the setting powder, you're setting where you applied your concealer. That's where you're setting. Then I'll go ahead to blend my entire face with my powder brush. And now I want to contour, and I'm contouring where I kept my cream contour. So another thing I want you to know is, when it comes to powder products, you're doing the same thing you did for the cream products, but now in the powder form. So you blend your entire face with the shade of your own shade, like your face shade, your skin shade. Make sure it's your skin shade. Don't use a light powder to blend your entire face. Make sure it's your exact shade of powder. Then I go into my contour again, the same thing I did, which is the first one, powder contour. I contour places I kept my cream contour, and then I go ahead to contour my nose before going into my eyeshadow application. And for my eyeshadow application, guys, I have another video for it. Like, I filmed another video for it, so that one will be uploaded after this one, like how I achieved my eyeshadow. So yeah, you can watch how I'm contouring my nose. And after this step, I'm going to reverse contour. And reverse contour, I'm also going to bake my face, and that's because I tell. Yes, I know I'm not doing my makeup, but I'm actually being honest. I actually have teary eyes, and also to catch fallout. Also, that's the main reason why I'm also baking my face. Yeah, and I'm also, before I forget, I'm also I have oily skin, so you also have to do your skin type also before also putting like packing powder on your face. I not like I pack powder, like setting powder, but I'm doing it to bake my face and also to catch fallout. And because I also have oily skin, so it will just help me hold my makeup for a very long time with this. Hey guys, I'm back. I've gone ahead to do my eyeshadow, do my brows and everything, and now I'm just cleaning up the eyeshadow to give this to clean up the eyeshadow and to also make it look lifted, like my face look lifted also. So that's why I'm applying the powder to clean it up, and then I'm blending. And guys, it looks like as if I'm swiping. I'm dabbing and swiping. Yeah, you can see I'm using the actual shade, like my actual powder shade, to dab and then swipe. So it's like you're cleaning the powder and at the same time you're dabbing the powder into the skin, so you don't have these strokes under the eye. So you're dabbing and swiping when you're cleaning off your setting powder. Make sure you dab and swipe. And before I forget, you necessarily don't have to use your setting powder to set your face. You can use your normal face powder, but I mean, I love using my setting powder. Then I went ahead to spray my face with my Kiss Beauty. Then I'm applying my blush on my face, and then my highlights. Guys, this point this highlight is not my shade, but I didn't know, and that's because I haven't used it like in a while. And I was like, okay, let me just use it. You can see when I realized that no, this is actually not my shade. Then I now cleaned it off with powder. You can just use your powder to like just reduce the effects. And then I now went ahead to actually apply my actual highlight shade. Guys, I'm so big on making sure you apply your shade. I won't say I'm a perfectionist, but I really want that everything has to match, everything has to blend. Because if your makeup doesn't blend, you will just be looking like a ghost, or like everybody just be like, oh, what's going on? Everything has to match with your skin and everything. And so you can see that with every single thing, my makeup and everything still like came together. And I'm going into my lips. What I did there was to blend my entire face, like set my entire face with my powder before going into my lips, to make sure everything is blended into the skin. Guys, make sure there is no line of demarcation. There is no single line of demarcation. Everything is sinking in. You are not seeing any highlight line, contour line. Then for my lips, I used my eyebrow pencil from David's Brow Pencil, and then a pink shade from my lip palette. Then I went ahead to applying a light shade of concealer, the same shade of concealer I used for my concealer, what I applied there. And then I realized that, oh, this is not the shade I was really going for. Then I went ahead to apply the same pink shade that I used before. After putting the gloss, I thought about, like, no, this is not what I want. Then I applied the pink shade, and then I used my setting spray to set everything into the skin, to sink the powder and break the powder before going into this stay on spray from Flawless Ivy. Guys, you need this spray. It's the bomb, like bomb.com. And yeah, that's the end of my makeup tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said before, the eyeshadow tutorial will be uploaded after. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. Anything you want me to film, I will. And yes, I love you guys so much. I really want to build a community here, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Tell me what you think about this makeup. Love you. Mwah.